to the gangsta fans all around the world. You're now tuning in to hear JJ Wilson. Now I brought to you here GANGSTA Manga series chapter 43. That's right. Kosuke is back off hiatus and the series is a go once again. And I managed to get both copies and save the pictures on my computer for chapters 42 and 43. And this video will be based on chapter 43. And I have to say this was a very eye-opening and long chapter. Like it's a lot of information to cover. So I'll do my best to try to cover, like maybe not every page, but each page to kind of give you a synopsis of what's going on and what's going down with all the characters. So let's get started. I know the first two cover pages you got this really great artwork right there with the handyman and some of the other supporting cast there, those first two pages. And then the third page is a nice layout, color layout of Vergastelum, the city of Vergastelum. And then you have the Benria hideout of the handyman. You see the telephone there, kind of see a little bit of the building outside. And now we cut to a short flashback here. Now this is some 20 years ago, back when Warwick, one of the handymen, Warwick Archangelo, he's 13 years old I think, and he's sitting there lying like in the middle of the rainstorm. Like it looks like he just got some money from some people. He might have just got off doing his little side job as a gigolo. But anyway, Big Mama, or Georgiana, she comes in and she spots him. And this is her when she's a couple years younger, a little bit slimmer back in the day. So yeah, she's talking to him, you know, she's asking him, you know, slave trade you raided, I heard they went under. So it looks like Warwick might have attacked those people. I'm not sure what Big Mama is referring to here, or what she's talking about. But it looks like even back then Warwick was trying to change the balance of the Twilight Order. Like I think he was trying to do what he had to, I guess, to save Nick or whatever from getting killed. Maybe. That's just something I'm kind of deduced off that little talk between her and Warwick. And so she gets up close to him and she's holding his face, and she's kind of doing the same thing in the present now that Warwick is all grown up and he's like in his mid-30s here. So he's kind of doing the same thing to him, as you can see there. And then next thing you know, they embrace. You know, she's asking Warwick, are you sure about this? You know, Warwick, the only thing he says is, you're gonna get your dress dirty due to my blood because you just killed Miles. And so Georgiana finally lets him go, and we get to see a really cool swap here. These couple panels here of the Corsica family. It's not just her, it's Uranos Corsica, the head of the Corsica family. And you can see Ivan there talking to him, and some of Big Mama's subordinates are telling her, hey, it's time to go. And it looks like she's gonna take Warwick to Uranos Corsica. I guess it looks like there might be a bit of friction between her and Uranos Corsica. I'm wondering, are they brother and sister or maybe cousins? I'm not even sure. But for whatever reason, it looks like Big Mama, looking at Warwick's face and just kind of seeing the body language of it all, I think she knows, like, hey, this is a good time as ever to take out Uranos Corsica. So it looks like she's going to aid Warwick in that endeavor. And you can see Warwick here, like his face, man. This guy is totally locked in. He has changed. He's not this happy, you know. He's not this happy, cheerful guy that we all have seen throughout the series. Now he's totally stoic here. He's just focused. He's ready to kill. Like he's about to go all in. You could say he's on a suicide mission because he's going after not only Corsica, but he's trying to get Daniel Moreau as well. So he yeah, man, he is totally focused right now. he's pretty much saying F the world, like fuck the world right now. That's kind of his attitude right now at this point in time. He's trying to tear up everything there that is to know about the four powers, the head of the Twilights. And interestingly enough, we still have the riot going on outside the police station. And we got all these normals outside. They're trying to say, hey, fuck all Twilights, they need to die, and that kind of thing. So they're riding around the police station. So everything's just getting out of hand. And we can see Cody Balfour, one of the police officers, on the phone. And, they're trying to get a hold of Atkins, Inspector Atkins. But right now, he's talking with Gina Parker, the head of the Mercenary Guild, her own guild. So he's talking to one of the heads of the Twilight heads here, Gina Parker. So Atkins, they get into a huge argument. He's talking about we got Twilights outside the colony trying to get in, and they have no way of getting in. And if you don't do anything about it, they're all gonna die. All the hunters or whoever these guys are, they're gonna kill every last one of them. I mean, we got bodies, and not only Twilights, we got bodies and normal people all over the streets of our galaxy. It is a hot mess right now. And Gina isn't really trying to hear that. And she's inside her headquarters, she's looking out in the city, and she's telling them, hey, we can't take those refugees. Those refugees, sorry, we can't do nothing for them. We got our own problems to deal with. That's what she's trying to tell Inspector. And then Inspector Atkins is trying to tell you, do you realize that Dane Monroe is underground right now? He disappeared. You are our only hope. You need to clean up all this crap. You got to come in and do something about this. And that's when Gina got pissed. She told him straight up, hey, I don't know what you're trying to tell me, but you're the last person that needs to tell us what to do. The very last person. And above all else, you're a normal. You can't fight Twilights. You can't fight hunters, you can't fight super normals. You're not even supposed to support us anyway. You're the police. You're supposed to protect all the regular humans. Like, it's not in your place to tell other Twilights what to do. And that's what she's trying to tell them. Like, this is the four Godfathers problem. And it's also a problem for the Twilights here in the city. So don't butt in. And hearing that, the inspector got really pissed off. He threw that phone right outside the window. He just, man, he was angry. But yeah, that was the end of that conversation. A very, very insightful conversation. And now we get to another great part of this chapter. Dr. Theo's clinic. We go back to the clinic, and Dr. Theo is pretty much giving us a rundown of what's going on currently. Yang, the unfortunate man that got shot by his own father, so-called father, Dane Monroe, he is in another place right now, I believe. I'm not even sure if he's in the clinic, but it looks like he is recovering from his injuries, so he is alive. That's good to know. And I think some of Dane Monroe's men are also gone too, like Diego. Well, actually, Diego might be dead too, thanks to work. Anyway, looks like some of them are gone, and Delico and Heather are still in the clinic, so they're still okay. I made sure to take a picture of that there. And so it looks like Dr. Theo is somewhat pleased about his experimental drug, because his test subject, Nicholas Brown, the other half of the handyman, is still alive, and he just woken up from his slumber. And he's looking at his broken sword. You can see that there. And he's also remembering the unfortunate incident between him and Warwick, where he was forced to kill off Warwick's family in order to, I guess, help Warwick, get out of this terrible situation with his family. Because, if you look at some of the earlier volumes, he was treated like a piece of garbage thanks to his dad. So he's thinking about those times again, Nick is. And Nina comes over there, and she puts her hands over his hands, Nick's hands, so because it looks like he's shaking. He might be a little bit upset right now about what he just learned, about what he's thinking in his mind. And so he finally asked Dr. Phil, how long is this piece of junk of a body going to move again? How long do you think it's going to take? And Dr. Phil calls him a fool. He's crazy. I mean, he just got shot up by Daniel Monroe. Now he's talking about going back out there again in just maybe half a day, you know, because it hasn't been that long since he got shot. What's a broken down man like you trying to stand up on his own? You can't even stand up right now. You need me to spell it out for you, Nicholas Brown? You're no longer needed. Your master has abandoned you. That's what Dr. Theo is telling him. He's gone. He ain't coming back. He threw you away like a piece of trash. And you have no contract. So your contract is null and void. But why don't we make a deal? How about you work for me and donate your body? What that means is, why don't you die already, Nicholas Brown? And I can go ahead and experiment on your body, and then I can come up with more of these experimental drugs, and maybe possibly a cure to end all this crap once involved between humans and Twilights. I think that's Dr. Theo's grand plan here. And Nina doesn't want that. Nina does not want to see Nicholas die at all, because she cares very much about Nick. Oh yeah, by the way, Nina is Dr. Theo's assistant, for those that don't know. But yeah, Nick tells her right there and then, Nina, hey, stop. Dr. Theo's right. Nick says, Warwick, my master, he has left me. He's going somewhere. He doesn't need somebody like me to interfere. And so my body, this body of mine, I will give it to you. But first things first, I still have work to do. I still have orders left. So that's what he's telling Dr. Theo. So Dr. Theo's cool with it. He's getting what he wanted. What type of work is Nicholas talking about here? Well, we could come up with several theories. The first theory obviously would be to go back to where he got shot up at with Daniel Monroe and try to, you know, pick up the pieces again to see where Daniel Monroe went off to. So he could go after him. He could also try to save Marco, who is in deep crap right now. And speaking of Marco, hopefully by the end of this review I will show you guys the picture of him getting trampled over by Striker, because I forgot to put that in the earlier review for chapter 42. So that's another theory. And then the next theory would be to protect Alex, because Alex is gone. We're about to see where she goes right about now. But yeah, she's going back to Benria. She's going back to the hideout. And she's realizing that she doesn't belong here. She doesn't belong at that place. Like, there's just too many crazy things going on between those guys. She needs to get out of Dodge. And interesting enough, she remembers her pimp Barry. And she's remembering his words about what he told her, like there's no place for her. And she said she agrees. And yeah, there really is no place for me. So she goes back upstairs and she sees something very haunting. Very, very bad. And it's the remaining body of Miles, the second in charge of the Monroe family under Daniel Monroe. So she discovers his corpse inside the main room, the main office, and she goes crazy. Like, she is hallucinating. Like, it's almost like she's back into her drug state when she took the drug called TB. She's back in that state again. And what that drug does, it forces people to see things and go hallucinate, basically. And so now she's just looking everywhere. But first thing she does, she closes out all the openings, like the window and the door. She locks it. She doesn't want anybody else to see what she saw. And she's just looking around, thinking there might be still a killer here. She's just going nuts. She even drops her pills, her prescription, to fight off her hallucinations by Dr. Theo, so that falls on the floor. I mean, she's just looking everywhere right now, man. You can see the emotion in her face, or her eyes anyway. And then she's just asking why. Why did this have to happen? Why does this have to be me? Yeah, I wonder why too. And interesting enough, by the end of this chapter, there's a note that says, get out of here. But originally, it said take care, but it was scratched off. So that right there is basically Warwick's conflicting ego fighting itself. So on one hand, you got the nice side of Warwick. you know, telling her to take care. But then the world that says fuck it, he's like, fuck the world. You just tell him now, say, get out of here, just go. You're not needed anymore. That's what that is. And let me show you the picture of Marco losing to Stryker. And yeah, you can see Stryker is standing right over Marco. He got pummeled pretty bad, but thankfully he's not decapitated. He doesn't have any broken limbs or anything like that, so that's good to see there. So there may be a chance that Marco can bounce back, hopefully, but it looks like he's unconscious. So I'm very curious as to who can save him. I highly doubt Connie is going to be able to save him because she herself is down and out. She only has one arm, and she definitely is not strong enough to fight both Stryker and Beretta. There's no way. So I think the only hope for Marco now would be is Galahad coming in along with Hauser. You know, some of the mercenaries coming in there. They need to bring as many mercenaries as possible. That's the only way I can see, you know, them trying to free Marco, perhaps. But for some reason, man, Stryker is just so damn strong. He'll be crazy enough to take them all on and probably still win. I mean, that's how much of a badass Stryker is. He'll still likely beat those guys. But yeah, that's the end of chapter 43. Yeah, it's a grand chapter. I mean, Kosuke's back big time, man. I just got to see the series move forward once again. I'm sure the rest of you are as well. If you have any thoughts, you know, feel free to say so in the comment section about how you felt about the chapter and where I got the chapter from and all that stuff. So yeah, I guess going back before I close, going back to what Nicholas was talking about. Yeah, those are my 2 cents on what he could do as far as his work is concerned. The last scenario would be to fight Nick, not Nick, but to fight Warwick again, but I doubt that. So he's pretty much gonna let Warwick do his own thing, it seems. So yeah, the handyman is over for good this time, it seems. You know, so yeah, I'm thinking Nick possibly. I got a feeling he's gonna go back to the hideout again because he's gonna try to look for Alex. I'm pretty sure that's like number one on his mind right now. Like, I think he knows that Alex is gone, so he's gonna try to find her first, make sure she's safe, and then I think from there he's gonna pick up the trail as to where he left off as far as trying to find Connie, and that could possibly lead him to finding her and Marco. I know one of my subscribers was talking about that in the comment section earlier. Like, that is a possibility. Nick could be the one to come in there to fight Stryker this time, but I don't know. I'm not so sure. He's hurt right now. He's not even 100%. I'm not even sure if he can beat Stryker at this rate. I just don't see it. So that's another angle that Nick could do, and also him going after Daniel Moreau and his gang more directly. And then don't forget about Ivan, because he has Erica still. Now Michael, I believe, is still at the clinic. The other kid that was with Erica, I believe he's still at the clinic, so we already know we don't have to worry about him. But Erica is somebody else that we gotta look out for. I mean, she hasn't been mentioned in the chapters lately, but that's somebody else we gotta look out for. And Nick may have to confront her while trying to pursue Daniel Moreau, if that's what he wants to do. So Nick has a lot of different angles to choose from here. But I think the main thing is to try to find out, to make sure she's alright. So those are my thoughts there about his orders. Let me know what you feel, or let me know what you guys talk about in the comment section about the chapter and the review and everything. And I'll see you guys next time.